How's it going, YouTube? AS Jet's coming at you with another model aircraft review today, and this time it's one that I am very excited about. This right here is the Prairie Wings 1/400 scale Air India Boeing 777-300ER. Now this is an exclusive model from Prairie Diecast, which is a model retailer based out of Canada, and Prairie Wings is their own sort of model company basically. This model uses the JC Wings 777 mold, and the box is also basically a JC Wings box. This model you could only have purchased from three sort of verified retailers: Prairie Diecast from Canada, Bedfordshire Diecast in the UK, and My Hobby House based out of Malaysia. So I got this one from Prairie Diecast themselves. They only made about 440 of these, so very limited supply. And I mean, this is a very anticipated model, very highly anticipated, sought after model. The last time somebody released a Air India 777-300ER in 1/400 scale, it was Gemini Jets back in I think 2007 and 2008. So very long time coming. This model has been requested by so many, and I mean, I've always wanted an Air India 333 in 1/400 scale. So thank you so much, Prairie Wings. I'm hoping maybe a PIA 777-300ER someday, maybe, I don't know, just an idea. But thank you so much for releasing this. It's a beautiful model. Let's go ahead and get started with the box. So as you can see, this largely is based off of JC Wings, and I will show you more similarities in a few moments. But on the top and the bottom of the box, we have some sort of design here. It's based off of the window design, the Rajasthani Palace kind of design that surrounds the windows on the Air India aircraft. So that's what that is. And then we have the Air India logo there with the sun logo in the background, or design in the background. We have the computer generated image of the plane in the middle, the aircraft type and the scale. The bottom of the box we have again the picture and all that. And then here's really where you can tell it's not an actual JC Wings model, the barcode. It says PW001, which denotes this is the first model, the launch model of Prairie Wings. And here's a JC Wings box to compare. You can see the item numbers are a bit different there. This is the EVA 777, which will be a future video. And here's the right flap of the box. You just have the Air India logo. The left flap is the exact same. Here's the top, and then here's the back where you just have the Air India logo, the dimensions of the actual 777-300ER in real life. Now obviously it's in meters. We Americans are the only ones who use feet, so it doesn't really help us, but I know the dimensions by heart pretty much. So the wingspan, 64.08 meters, that's about 212 feet, I believe. The length of 333 is 73.9 meters, about 242 feet, and then that's about like, what, 72, 73 feet height. And then I think from the here to the bottom is about 60 feet or something like that. So yeah. And then here's the specifications. If you want to read that, there you go. And that's the box. So there we go. Let's go ahead and get on to the model itself. Alright, so we're going to get started with the actual review on the model. And we will start with the left side of the aircraft on the nose section. So here we have the cockpit windows, the windshield wipers, the radome, pitot tubes here. And very quickly onto the nose gear, you can see the last three letters of the registration, ALS, on the nose gear flap, or the nose gear door I should say. And the actual nose gear itself is very nicely done. We have rolling tires, and some details like the lights are nicely done. Very nicely that they added that. Over here is the flag of India, and just below the flag we have the name of the aircraft, which is Mizoram, or Mizoram, I'm not too sure how to pronounce it. And it's in Hindi on this side. However, on the right side, both the name and the Air India titles are both in English, and I will show you that when we get there. We have the Star Alliance logo. Here's the L1 and L2 boarding doors. Again, the Air India titles in Hindi. We have this green, white, and orange cheat line which runs throughout the length of the fuselage, and this is of course derived from the colors of the Indian flag. You can kind of see the correlation there. Right here is a decal commemorating 150 years since the birth of Mahatma Gandhi. If you don't know who Gandhi is, shame on you. That's all I can say. Moving on, we have the static ports, some more static ports here. The IATA logo, which is really interesting how they added that. I don't know why Air India has that on all their planes, so if anybody could please let me know in the comments, that would be much appreciated. Saudi Arabian does the exact same thing. Here's my Saudi 777. If you can see, this one has the IATA logo on it as well, and Saudi puts it on all their planes as well. I don't know what the point of it is, but again, I would appreciate somebody letting me know in the comments. Now let's take a closer look at the windows. As you can see, that's a nice close-up of the beautiful, intricate Rajasthani Palace design that surrounds the windows. Air India, like I said, is the only airline that really has adopted this design, and it's just something, again, really unique to just Air India. We have the Overwing exit door, as this is the 777-300ER. And on the wings, here on the top of the right wing, we have the full registration, Victor Tango Alpha Lima Sierra. We have the egress arrows and the control surfaces. And here's the top of the left wing. Again, same deal, just no registration on this one. And there's the raked wingtip, as is, trademark to the 777-300ER and the 200LR and the 200 freighter. And then on the top, we have cut here in emergency. There's 4 of these little indicators on each side. And then there's an antenna there. Nice little SATCOM 3D there. And then there's supposed to be 2 antennas in the back. Unfortunately, I lost this other one. It fell off literally yesterday as I was filming this review. I was trying to make this video last night, and this fell off. I have no idea where it is, unfortunately. And that's a problem with all companies these days. Their antennas are not really tightly fitted most of the time, so they tend to fall out really easily. I've had it happen to me numerous times on a bunch of my other models, which is really unfortunate. And before I forget, here are the engines, the GE9115B engines, beautifully done with the color and the sun design, as you can see. And then there's the fan blades. They don't spin, but they're very, very nicely done, as you can see there. And then that little dot right there on the wing is the inboard landing light. And then, as you can kind of tell here, there is a pretty noticeable gap where the insertion point is between the wing and the fuselage. It's fairly noticeable, not too big, thankfully, but it is, pretty noticeable. Thankfully, it's not too bad on the other side, but on this side it is, it's there. I mean, you can clearly see it, sadly. Alright, and there's the landing gear, the main landing gear, which roll and pivot. Let me actually demonstrate that. So you can see they have a pretty wide range of motion. And there is one small issue with the landing gear, which I will point out at the end of the video, so stay tuned to that. Here we have the aircraft type indicators. You can see this is Boeing 777-300ER. That's next to the L4 door. And then moving down, we have the aft L5 door. Just to the left of it, we have the full registration number again. And then to the right of the door, we have some small text. I don't know what that says right there, so if anybody could please let me know again, I would appreciate that. And there's a small little antenna on the bottom as well. And then here is the Air India tail. Very, very beautiful. You have the sun logo and then the Air India titles, of course, in English. We got the horizontal stabilizers, the tail cone and APU, which is actually 3D, and you can feel all the different textures. As I covered that in my recent Cathay Pacific 777-300ER review by JC, this is, of course, 3D. As compared to the other companies like Gemini Jets and Phoenix, who have it just simply painted on like that. But JC Wings and Aviation 400 both have their tail cones 3D, which is pretty awesome, I must say. And then one cool thing about the Air India livery, let me actually zoom out so I can show you this. I don't think anybody's ever definitely people have noticed this, but if you've ever seen an Air India aircraft, you'll notice that the fuselage logo and the name are in Hindi on the left side, while the Air India titles on the tail are in English. On the flip side of the plane, as I will show you in a few moments, it's the exact opposite. So the fuselage titles are both in English, whereas the Air India titles on the tail are in Hindi. So let's go ahead and move over to the right side of the aircraft. Alright, so here on the right side of the aircraft, there's just some small details I wanted to point out very quickly. The first of which is the name of the aircraft, Mizoram. As you can see on this side, it's in English, along with the Air India titles. Now, Mizoram is a state on the eastern side of India. If you've ever seen a map of India, you have, of course, the main part of India, and then there's a small part of it on the east, just east of Bangladesh as well. So Mizoram, Tripura, I believe Meghalaya, Assam, and Nagaland, they're part of that. They make up that eastern part of India. So Mizoram is in that part, not in the actual main, India, but it's in a little eastern part of it, if you know what I'm saying. And then, like I mentioned, the Air India logo is in English. And then you'll notice there's the front cargo bay door, the main cargo bay door, the IATA logo. And you'll notice there is not any Gandhi sticker. The Gandhi sticker is only on the left side of this aircraft, and it's completely missing on the right side. As a matter of fact, this is the only plane in the entire Air India fleet which is missing the Gandhi sticker on the right side. VT-ALS. I don't know why it doesn't have it on the right side, but it's very interesting why it doesn't. I get maybe they either forgot to put it on there or something, but yeah, in real life, VT-ALS is the only aircraft in the entire Air India fleet that doesn't have the Gandhi sticker on both sides. And then if we move down, it's fairly the same. Really nothing else. There's just 2 cargo doors in the back, as you can see there. And then the Air India tail, as you can see, the Air India titles on the tail, they're in Hindi this time, as opposed to being English on the other side. Right, and now let's go ahead and move on to the underbelly. Alright, so as you can see here, we have the nose gear doors, and the underbelly is just this beautiful bright red color. It really reminds me of spices, you know, India being very famous for its spices, and spice jet as well. I love that red color. We have the stand hole, the main landing gear doors, which are actually engraved on there. They're not like just painted, they're actually their own like texture. And there's the main gear, and you can see the registration on the bottom of the left wing, again, VT-ALS. That little rectangle there is the RAT system, or ram air turbine. And there's another antenna, like I mentioned earlier in the video. And there's just another box for the APU access point, I believe that's what it's called. And that will do it for the underbelly. And then the top, I think I briefly touched on it, but there is the top of the aircraft. You can see the cut here in emergency markings, some static ports there, and then again the SATCOM, and there's a beacon light right there in the front, you can see. Alright, so that is it for this model. We will go ahead and conclude the video now. Alright, so Prairie Wings and JC Wings, they did a fantastic job on this model. The color is spot on, and the mold is very good as well. It's a beautiful model, and if you haven't purchased it yet, I would definitely recommend doing so. Air India is a very, very successful airline in Chicago. They've been flying here since the 90s. They've been here for a very, very long time, and I've seen them a lot growing up. I've never gotten any good pictures or videos of them, but they're definitely one of the airlines that I really want to catch the most at O'Hare someday. Just a very, very iconic airline. Even though the reviews I've heard of them have not been too good, all of my Indian friends have told me Air India is terrible, don't fly with them. And I can relate to that because, you know, I'm Pakistani, we have PIA, and PIA sucks too. So, I mean, that must be a trend among all South Asian airlines. But believe it or not, Air India is an airline I've always wanted to fly on, maybe. Hopefully one day I'll get the chance to do so. You know, I've really, really wanted to fly them. I don't know if I ever will, but I would be down to fly them someday. And then I did mention earlier in the video that there was some small issue with the landing gear. Let me show you all what I mean by that. If you look closely, the JC Wings 777-300ER mold, the main landing gear, they are actually a bit off center. If you'll notice, you have to look really closely. They are just barely off center, if you'll notice, which is not how they should be. On the actual plane, they should be right in the middle. Let me get my point across this way. Let me actually move the tripod back a little bit so you can see this. So this won't be the best way to prove my point, but you can see there's just very little spacing between the last gear or last tires and the end of the wing. Very, very little spacing. Let me show you how it should be done. Here's my Aviation 400 ANA 777. It's going to be a future video. Look at how much spacing there is between the last tire and the end of the wing. So much more spacing. And that's how it should be. Here's, as you can see, the gear are right in the center of the plane, as you can see there. That's how it should be. And then we compare it to Phoenix as well. Here's my Phoenix Saudi 777. As you can see, the gear are directly in the center, and you can see very, very nice spacing between the last tire and the end of the wing. So JC Wings, that's just one thing they need to work on, the gear placement. Here's my JC Wings EVA, or EVA 777, another future review. It has the same issue, not enough spacing between the last tire and the end of the wing. So the main landing gear overall on the JC Wings 333 mold, they're just a bit off center. So JC Wings, please, I don't know if they'll fix it, but definitely that's just one thing they should consider for the future. But overall, this is a fantastic model. I love it. I've always wanted an Air India 333 in 400 scale, and based on the fact that I'm doing Chicago O'Hare Terminal 5 as a future model airport project on my main channel, I had to get this model. I mean, it's a no-brainer. That brings it to the end of this video. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Really appreciate it. And let me know your thoughts on the model in the comments below. Anyways, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.